we are open to the public.
Okay, good evening, everyone. This is your Deputy Mayor Canestrino. I'm filling in for our Mayor LaBrosse tonight, who's home recovering from shoulder surgery. He's doing a lot better, but he's still not really up to an evening of this tonight. So be patient with me and we'll get through it all together. Deb?
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et sec, notice of which was sent to the record in the Star Ledger and was posted on the Municipal Bulletin Board. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act and recent regulations issued by the state of New Jersey, the following procedures will be in effect for public comment during this remote public meeting of the City Council. The public shall have an opportunity for comment during the designated public portion of this meeting. The time period for public comment is limited to 3 minutes for each speaker, and no person may address the council more than once except for speaking during an advertised public hearing for an ordinance. At the time designated for the public comment, the mayor or other presiding officer of the council will recognize one speaker at a time. That speaker must identify himself or herself by full name and whether or not he or she resides in Hackensack. No other member of the public is permitted to speak unless recognized by the presiding officer, and other remote attendees may be muted during that time if necessary to eliminate background noise. Meeting attendees shall exhibit appropriate demeanor during this meeting as required by Section 37-15 of the City Code. In the event any member of the public becomes disruptive at any time, that individual may be muted by the presiding officer and will receive a warning that continued disruption may result in being prevented from speaking or removed from the meeting entirely. The Zoom meeting platform has a texting function. However, this is to be used only for the purpose of advising the city's IT staff of any technical concerns or issues. The public may also submit written public comments to be audibly read into the record by the city clerk during the public portion of any remote public meeting of the City Council. Comments can be submitted by regular mail or by email to asaby@hackensack.org. Comments received less than 5 hours before the start of a meeting may be carried to the next meeting. Any person who actually speaks during the public comment portion of a remote public meeting may not also have a comment read into the record. The city clerk will stop reading a written comment into public record once it reaches the 3-minute limit. Duplicate written comments may be summarized and noted for the record in a consistent manner.
Thank you, Deb. I also want to note that Councilwoman von Rudenberg is not with us tonight either. She was here with us in the beginning of the committee of the whole, and she had a personal emergency that is going to prevent her from attending the rest of the meetings tonight. All right, with that said, I need a motion to close the executive session.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Aye.
and Mayor LaBrosse is absent.
All right, I also need a motion to close the committee of the whole.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Aye.
and Mayor LaBrosse is absent.
And I just want to add for the record, when we did go back into closed session, we did not discuss any additional litigation. So the cases I cited earlier are the ones that will be in the record.
Okay, thank you, Steve. I said we need to do the roll call, right, Deb?
Yes,
Offer.
No, roll call. Leo.
roll call.
Oh, sorry.
Leo, you're faster than I am. Councilmember von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Here.
Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Yeah.
Here.
Mayor LaBrosse is absent.
Can we all stand for the flag salute? Frank, you have the flag? There it is. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
which is
which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
justice for all.
justice for all. Okay. All right, next we have one proclamation. It's School Choice Week. Just give me a second to find it. Okay, this is a proclamation from the Office of the Mayor of the City of Hackensack. Whereas all children in the city of Hackensack should have access to the highest quality education possible. And whereas the city of Hackensack recognizes the important role that an effective education plays in preparing all students in the city of Hackensack to be successful adults. And whereas quality education is critically important to the economic vitality of the city of Hackensack. And whereas the city of Hackensack is home to a multitude of high-quality public and non-public schools from which parents can choose for their children, in addition to families who educate their children in the home. And whereas educational variety not only helps to diversify our economy, but also enhances the vibrancy of our community. And whereas the city of Hackensack has many high-quality teaching professionals in all types of school settings who are committed to educating our children. And whereas School Choice Week is celebrated across the country by millions of students, parents, educators, schools, and organizations to raise awareness of the need for their effective educational options. Now, therefore, I, Kathleen Canestrino, Deputy Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with the mayor and the members of the Hackensack City Council, do hereby recognize January 23rd through 29th, 2022 as School Choice Week in the City of Hackensack, and call this observance to the attention of all of our citizens. Okay. Next, we have approval of the minutes. All right, we have the COW executive and regular from January 11th of 2022. Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Aye.
and Mayor LaBrus is absent.
All right, next we have our city manager's report, Vinnie.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. The city wants to let everybody know that we continue to offer COVID-19 testing sites, the testing locations and the updated information is available at hackensack.org/COVID-19. Also, the vaccination mega site has opened at the former Lord and Terrell location in Paramus as well. Some good news that may have been seen in the paper is the Anderson Street Bridge between Hackensack and Teaneck will be repaired as part of a bipartisan infrastructure package passed in Congress earlier this year. The repairs to the county-owned bridge are expected to start next year, and it's going to take approximately 3 years to complete. We got some other good news regarding the TAP grant from the NJDOT on the Main Street streetscape. The money has been will be released very shortly, and hopefully we can go out to bid as soon as possible and finally get the streetscape done on that portion of Main Street. In the city's 2022 sanitation and recycling calendar, there was an unfortunate error. The updated rubbish collection days are noted on the website and on social media, and we will be sending out a revised calendar as part of the first quarter newsletter, and we apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. Some updates from some recent citizen comments and complaints. No drop-off and pickup signs have been added to the by Atlantic Street between Prospect Ave and 2nd Street. The city has also engaged our traffic engineer to assess the addition of a crosswalk at Atlantic Street. We have already received 2 proposals from the engineer for the crosswalk and 24-hour blinking pedestrian signs. In addition, in the meantime, we have the electronic signboard in place on Atlantic Street, and hopefully we'll make a decision on the crosswalk soon enough and get those signs installed and another midpoint crosswalk. As soon as the weather breaks, we will be painting intersection curbing in phases based on the different sections of the city. I think this is important for any obstructions that may be at any 4-way intersection, so we'll be painting those curbs yellow. Double parking concerns they continue on Main Street. I have asked the PD to monitor both Main Street and school areas to improve the safety concerns, and we're also researching putting up some more signs and trying to stop the double park and the illegal U-turns on Main Street. That's all I have for now, Deputy Mayor.
Well, thank you very much. Okay, so moving on to new business. Resolution 30-22.
Okay, this is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 1-2022, an ordinance to amend chapter 170 of the Code of the City of Hackensack vehicles and traffic to add a new handicap parking space in section 49.2, parking for the handicapped on First Street. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
All right, because this is the adoption, may I have a motion now to open to the public?
Offer.
second,
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
aye,
And Mayor LaBrus is absent.
Okay, at this time, if anyone wants to speak about this ordinance and this ordinance only, please raise your hand.
There are no hands raised.
Okay, so may I have a motion to close to the public?
Offer.
second,
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
All right, so now may I have a motion to adopt this ordinance?
Offer.
second,
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 1-2022 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Okay, resolution 31-22.
This is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 2-2022, an ordinance to amend chapter 17 of the Code of the City of Hackensack Employment with respect to certain personnel policies and procedures. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for public hearing.
Okay, because it's an adoption, I need a motion to open to the public.
Offer.
second,
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
If anyone wishes to speak about this ordinance and this ordinance only, please raise your hand.
Okay, so first up is Richard Salkin.
Okay, Rick, let us know when you're there. Are you unmuted, Rick?
You need to unmute, Richard.
I did unmute. Okay.
There you are.
Can hear me? Richard
Can you hear me
Salk. Just quick, I noticed in that ordinance, the establishment of a salary for a position of deputy city manager. Are you planning on filling that? And I assume that'd be Jackie, but or am I getting too?
I think that's the next one. This is the next.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
next one.
It's this one.
Well, can I ask that question now?
Yeah,
This
I
is
mean,
the one
Rick,
about
Rick,
the
Rick,
personal overtime, the exempt employee status and stuff.
All right.
I
No
will, I
question.
will say, hang on, let me jump in here. Sorry, let me get my video on. This does mention, Rick is actually correct. There is
Oh,
a
all right.
reference to it. There is a reference to a deputy city manager in terms of them being listed in terms of their extra duty for the deputy city manager position. So the title is added into
I'm
this
sorry,
ordinance.
I'm sorry,
as
Rick,
well.
I apologize.
No, no.
I just knew the next one said
This-
salaries
the-
and
the-
stuff, so.
The
I
next
thought
one
that
says the salary,
Stephen
but it
just
was,
afforded me
but
a
it is
courtesy.
mentioned in there.
There you
Stephen
go.
just
It was-
afforded me a courtesy. That's all that
There you
was.
go.
Thank
There
you,
you
Stephen.
go.
That was very nice.
Yes, fair enough.
So what was your question, Rick? I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm just curious, are you planning on filling the position? I would like to assume that it's Jackie. And again, if that's too delicate or too premature, then I don't understand and no comment.
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend not really speaking about any sort of personnel matters. I mean, I think, all will be revealed in short order. So I'll leave it.
That
at
answers it because, okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Rick. Anyone else, Frank?
No, there are no other hands.
Can I have a motion to close to the public?
Offer.
second,
Oh, I almost said all in favor. Debbie, can we have roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
All right, now can I have a motion to adopt?
Offer.
second,
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 2-2022 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
All right, resolution 32-22.
This is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 3-2022, an ordinance to amend the city's existing salary ordinance, fixing and determining municipal class position titles and salary ranges for certain contractual and non-contractual officers and employees of the city of Hackensack. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
All right, as this is an adoption, can I have a motion to open to the public for comment?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
If anyone wishes to speak about this ordinance and this ordinance only, please raise your hand.
There are no hands raised.
Right, may I have a motion to close to the public?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
Right now, I need a motion to adopt it.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus is absent. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 3-2022 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Right, resolution 33-22.
This is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 4-2022, an ordinance to comprehensively revise chapter 175 zoning of the code of the City of Hackensack. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
And before I open it to public, I'd like our city attorney to make his comment.
Yes, just wanted to, put on the record that obviously this is a comprehensive revision to the zoning ordinance. It is, the planning board did meet to discuss this matter and to consider this and to confirm that it does comply with the city's master plan at their meeting of January 12th. They did agree and vote that was the case unanimously that to accept these changes. There are no specific comments. There's some, certainly the planning board expressed some thoughts about some things that they'd like to see going forward, but no specific comments or anything suggesting that anything in this ordinance deviated from the master plan such that we would need to have special procedures to adopt any such changes. So with that, legal formality has been complied with, and just want to make that clear so that it is ripe for adoption.
Thanks very much. With that, can I have a motion to open to the public?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
Aye.
And Mayor LaBrus is absent.
With that, if anyone from the public wishes to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only, please raise your hand.
Richard Salkin, his hand is raised.
Okay, Rich, let us unmute yourself and
Richard Salkin, Hackensack. Let me preface my remarks with this. This is a 200-page ordinance. I know the council didn't write this. I know you rely on your support staff, your professionals on something like this. So to the extent that my remarks criticize it, it's not directed at you. I have three major areas. Actually, the first two I thought could be resolved by amending this tonight because they're not material changes, but, well, one actually. But there's the third one, which I think I'm going to ask you at the end of my remarks to table this, and I'll get to that. In the first instance, the easiest one, I'm not even sure why we continue to have the restriction on signs in the professional overlay district on Summit Avenue between Essex and Beach. of 2 square feet as it is with a professional sign in a residential zone, because what we have up there are billboards. Again, not you guys, it's been going on forever, before your time continues. I would at least like an effort by the city to go in there with these positions and say, at least give us the courtesy of applying for a variance. That none of them got variances for these signs. Those are billboards up there. Not right. It's total disrespect for our ordinances. Please take it under advisement. That's an easy one. My second one is this, and it starts with a question. Is it your intention to permit the parking of pickup trucks in residential zones other than 1 and 2 family zones? Anyone know? Steve? Okay,
I know. Can you hear me?
I don't think that was your intention, but let me tell you what I'm talking about. All right. Unless you know off the top of your head, but I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know I can say that we it's up to the council if they want me to speak or not. First of all, I don't want to take the council's prerogative.
Please go right
I mean,
ahead.
I know there was a lot of discussion. Look, I'm not a planning and zoning attorney, as you may or may not know. This was, primarily done with the city zoning and planning professional staff and, other council who were, handle these areas more than I do. But I do know, there was a lot of discussion here about the fact that the existing regulations were sort of unclear, and that, certain pickup trucks are, much more common. There was 2 types of pickup trucks, right? There's commercial pickup trucks, and there's people who own pickup trucks for their own personal use because they like to go camping on the weekend. So my understanding is that it was revised to, address that particular issue. If you've got a particular concern about it, but I just want to make clear it was discussed, and that was the intention, from what I understood, of what they were trying to put together.
All right, under the existing ordinance, the one that's about to be repealed, substituted for, no person shall store, blah blah blah, R50, R100, R2, R28, blah blah blah. Okay, what you have in the proposed one is page 123. It says, the title of the section, C, parking for 1 and 2 family dwellings. 1, parking of commercial vehicles. Commercial, and of course, a pickup truck by definition still is a commercial vehicle. Parking of commercial vehicles. Commercial vehicles shall be prohibited from parking on any residential property or in any residential districts. So I think with all due respect, Steve, I don't think you're correct on what the intention was, because this says it's still illegal in all residential zones, but I think you're inviting litigation over this now, because again, the title of the section is 1 and 2 family dwellings, but the body of the ordinance says basically the same thing as it always did. They're not permitted in any residential zone. I'd like to see that straightened out. That's
hang on 1 second. I just want to, before you go there, and again, it's obviously a lengthy ordinance here, but in the in the definition of commercial motor vehicle, I'd have to look and see, how
it hasn't changed,
how that applies, because that would be the next question is what definition was used. But I will say this, I mean, with respect to these particular issues, it is clear, and if you were at the planning board meeting, if you observed it, there was certain commentary about the fact that in an ordinance like this, there will be things that maybe need to be looked at, reviewed, corrected. Obviously, it'll be a process to go through that. But certainly this does not mean if there's an issue that needs to be corrected, even if we proceed forward today, that it doesn't mean we can't immediately work on an issue that we've identified and work to correct it, as opposed to, making a substantive change that delays the whole process from going forward. So I would just suggest your point may be an excellent one, and maybe needs to be looked at in that vein, but it is understood, and I think the council understood that, this will not be a perfect document at 200 pages.
Okay. I respect your comments, Stephen, but the next one, which is the most serious of all, is what has been done, that again, I want to be consistent with that. I'm blaming no one. I'm seeing in front of me. Well, I always blame Deborah Carlson. She can take it. She's tough.
Of course, no problem.
All right. Okay. The problem is with your definition. It's in the sign portion of the zoning ordinance. And what we have now in terms of political signs, the only restriction is on lawn signs we're talking about, is they can't be in excess of 6 square feet. You are, with the new definitions, did you say something, Mr. Battaglia? Because you lit up there. I guess not. Okay. The new definitions say you can't have a political sign up more than 30 days before the election, no more than 5 days after. You are getting us into a lot of First Amendment litigation unnecessarily. Why are we going there? There's a house, 88 Catalpa. The name of the owner is no stranger to any of us speaking here, Mrs. Kajelja. She has 14 lawn signs out there right now. She's apparently an anti-vaxxer and anti-masker. God bless her. That's her perspective. You pass this, and after the public notice in 10 days, you're going to have to send a zoning officer up there to tell her to take them down. And you're going to wind up in federal district court. Similarly, what are you going to do with the Black Lives Matter signs? Same thing. There's no election coming up. And if I want to put up a sign, I live in a high rise, but like in the old days, had a lawn sign, I want to put up Trump 2024, Pence 2024, Sanders 2020. That's my absolute right. Don't get us into that. There's no reason. It's totally unnecessary. The other problem with that ordinance, you're violating state law because you've established an appeal procedure from the zoning officer. When you want to take an appeal, it's going to the mayor and council. Now, what are the optics if it's a municipal election? Your opponents want to put up signs 2 months early. You say, oh no, and we're enforcing on it. Not a good idea. But more importantly, it violates state law. That's an appeal of a zoning officer's opinion, and that has to go to the Board of Adjustment. Interestingly, and Kathy, you might remember this, when you guys first started out, see how good your memory is. Remember the proposed ordinance for the newspaper vending machines?
Yes.
Yeah, and you guys were going forward. I said, and you were signing it to the Board of Adjustment. And I spoke and I said, you can't do that. Their powers are prescribed by the state statute, and you tabled it. You got it straightened out. It's really the same thing here. You can't do what you're about to do. It's violating state law. And what's going to be set in motion? And unless, you're going to say, well, we'll get around to fixing it. Don't do it because, hey, you know what? There are people with access to crime with Francis Kajelja. They're going to call you zoning officer. He's going to say, enforce our ordinance. It's going to be in effect. Please, there's only 3 of you here tonight. It's not a full council. These are serious issues. I implore you, don't put us on this road. Table this tonight. Thank you.
If I may, on a couple of points. First of all, Rick, what page are you talking about with respect to this mayor review? Do you have a page number?
Yeah, give me a second. Yeah, okay. It's page 156 of the new ordinance.
I just want to take a look and see here what we're talking about here.
It's subparagraph 8. I mean, it starts on 155, but
yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Steve. It's go back on 155.
Okay.
Yeah.
155.
Subsection 5.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
So the person on receipt of the. So this is specifically an appeal with respect to signage. Because a couple things I would say, and again, if the council feels they want to investigate.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, but this is in the section regarding signage, right? So the appeal process with respect to specific signs, because as we know, you can have like an appeal from a zoning board directly to the mayor and council for a hearing. That's certainly something that's permissible. I'm looking at this here.
No, it's not, Stephen. No, it's not.
Yeah,
Only
you
on a
can.
denial
I've
of
done-
or the grant of a D variance. That's not true.
That's correct. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, I'm saying.
That's a
that,
very
like I said,
narrow area. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
It is, but I've done those hearings, and so it is not outside the realm of possibility to do that here. I'm not particularly familiar with this section. I would tell the council this. I mean, a couple things. I mean, first of all, under the First Amendment, political signs are permissible. There are rules about time, place, and manner restrictions. Where exactly that case law is not something that I can tell you off the top of my head. What I can tell you is, the fact that the issue has been raised, certainly as the city attorney's office, we can issue an opinion. The Constitution trumps the zoning ordinance. So if something's in there and we actually have a sign issue that needs to be addressed, I have no issue, putting together an opinion saying, hey, look, this particular provision is not enforceable in the meantime. And I would certainly, any conversation I'd have with the zoning officer is, hey, if you're going to do something, dealing with a political sign, you should come to your city attorney first, and we should look at that very carefully and make sure it's doable. So, as I said, I can't speak to the exact nature of whether this is too restrictive or whether it is in compliance with the current time, place, and manner rules. Obviously, you can't discriminate based upon viewpoint discrimination, whether it's a Black Lives Matter sign or an anti-vaxxer sign or a pro-vaxxer sign or anything like that. I don't think that necessarily should preclude you. If you feel you want to adopt it tonight, we can deal with that issue. The same thing would be with respect to the sign appeal. I honestly haven't really noticed that provision before in this, very large document. I'd have to confer with, with our planners and other professionals as to, what the basis was for coming up with this procedure and understand whether it is sustainable or not. I mean, I understand certainly where Rick is coming from in terms of, the council hearing a matter relating to political signage. That's a very, very challenging place for any governing body or any elected official to be in. And we could handle it if it comes up between now and if we need to make any changes to it. So I leave it to, obviously it's the council's decision on how to proceed. I think Rich's concerns are legitimate ones. I don't necessarily agree you need to table if you feel you want to proceed forward tonight. I think that's a decision you need to make. But either way, we will look at these specific concerns and come up with, the best legal guidance we can on them, regardless of what you decide to do tonight.
Thank you.
May I say one more thing? Hello, am I still on?
It's public hearing, yeah, sure.
Okay, look, what Steve, Stephen gave a very thoughtful analysis, and I certainly accept his representations that he would take it seriously and look at. Why put the cart before the horse? I mean, we've lived with whatever flaws are in the prior ordinance for a pretty long time. Is one meeting or two meetings going to make the difference in the world? Let's do it right. Let's get it right before we have to go back and worry about, did we remember to amend this, to this? Is this okay? Just common sense as far as I'm concerned, but thank you for your time.
Right. If I may, Rick, I believe that it's very important that we move forward with this. And we did the master plan review in 2020. And an output of that review was that the code desperately needed to be reviewed and rewritten. And it's taken way longer than we thought it would take because it was a massive document and because laws have changed and there was many inconsistencies in there. There were zones or designations for buildings that were just added on kind of superfluously throughout the years that really didn't belong any longer. So there was and it was basically unreadable. The real issue was that in many ways it was indefensible. And when summonses may have been issued that went to a court or to a hearing, you could point, or the opposing attorneys could point to a place in our document where one place it said, yes, this is allowed, and 10 pages later it says, no, it isn't. So we've been dealing with these issues, yes, for many years, but it's becoming increasingly more difficult to do so. Is this perfect? I don't believe there's such a thing as perfection. what we aspire to as a council is all of our documents are living documents that will continue to evolve. Just like our rehab plans, for example, when something happens, we change them and we make them what they should be. To me, the zoning codes should be reviewed at a minimum every year because laws change, circumstances change in the city, priorities change, the world changes. And we need to keep on top of this. This hasn't been really reviewed in totality in many, 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 many years. And the issues that we're seeing now are not issues that are always easy to deal with or beneficial to the outcomes of the city. So I feel it's very important that we say this is a much improved, a greatly improved document over what we currently had. And will there be revisions to it? Absolutely. I would be upset if there wasn't. And I think that there's things, the planning board's made recommendations of some things they may want to see added. I think all that has to be vetted properly and done following the correct process, and that will happen. I thank you for your comments. I think our city attorney sees the points that you made, and I promise you that we will look into them because that's who we are. But my recommendation to the rest of the council is going on Steve's recommendation that there's nothing here that should hold this up, and that at this point, it's more important that we get that stake in the ground as a baseline and we start to overcome some of the issues that we've already had. Anyone else from the public wanting to speak, Frank?
There are no other hands raised.
Can I have a motion to close to the public?
Offer.
second,
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
You have to read anything with this one?
We need to vote.
Oh, vote. I'm sorry. Can I have a motion to adopt?
Offer.
I was getting ahead of
second,
myself. Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 4-2022 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Okay. Resolution 3422.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 5-2022, an ordinance adopting the 463-483 Main Street redevelopment plan consisting of block 411, lots 2.01, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 18.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
second,
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent. Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 5-2022 is introduced is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on February 22nd, 2022 at 8:00 p.m. or soon thereafter, as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council. And at such time and place, all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Okay, resolution 35-22. We had some last minute changes come in on that, so I think we're going to pull it.
Pull that one, yes.
Do we have to vote on that or?
No, it will be on the next meeting.
Okay, perfect. All right, then moving on to resolution 36-22.
This is a resolution authorizing transfer of 2021 budget appropriations.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
second,
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
All right, resolution 37-22.
This is a resolution authorizing 2022 emergency temporary budget appropriations.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
second,
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
Right. Resolution 38-22.
It's a resolution authorizing extraordinary unspecifiable services contract to the Rogers Group LLC for Fire Department consultant.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
second,
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
Resolution 39-22.
This is a resolution awarding bid contract to Vortex Companies for the Hudson Street Stormwater Conveyance Improvement Project.
May I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
second,
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
Resolution 40-22.
This is a resolution awarding contract for engineering services to Suburban Consulting Engineers for Fashini Park Master Plan.
May I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
second,
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
Resolution 41-22.
This is a resolution authorizing tax refund for state board judgments.
May I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
second,
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
Resolution 42-22.
This is a resolution authorizing tax appeal attorney to settle the cases on the attached list dated January 7th, 2022 that were scheduled for trial or settlement.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Offer.
second,
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
aye,
And Mayor LaBrus is absent.
Resolution 43-22.
This is a resolution authorizing payment of bills.
Can I have a motion to approve? Motion to approve? Somebody?
Offer.
second,
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
aye,
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
Right, before we do the consent agenda, I believe we're going to be pulling resolution 47-22. Does anyone have any others that they need to have pulled? All right, Deb, so we'll proceed that way.
Okay, so 47-22 is being pulled from the meeting, not pulled for a separate vote, just so everybody knows that. All right, so the consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda, and consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes, including any exceptions and/or deletions. Consent agenda consists of resolution 44-22 is a resolution authorizing award of professional service agreement to Murphy Orlando LLC for special litigation counsel. Resolution 45-22, a resolution authorizing release of escrow for 265 Clinton Place. Resolution 46-22, authorizing renewal of Bergen Risk as third-party administrator for city's worker compensation, general and automobile liability insurance. Resolution 48-22 is a resolution authorizing complete streets policy in New Jersey safe routes to school recognition. Resolution 49-22 is a resolution authorizing contract with County of Bergen Open Space, Recreation, Floodplain Protection, Farmland and Historic Preservation Trust Fund for 2021 Municipal Park Program Improvement Program for Parks Lightning Detection Project. And Resolution 50-23 2 is a resolution authorizing appointment of Glenn Zabransky and Ernie Cisco as ADA coordinators. And with that, we need a motion.
Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
We need a
Leo,
motion.
Leo is muted, I think.
Yeah, Leo's muted.
Leo, unmute yourself so you can approve, you can make the motion. I need the motion for the consent agenda, Leo.
You're still muted.
You're still muted.
Kathy, Deputy Mayor, I offer.
Are you offering? Just say second, Leo. I see his lips saying it. Leo, unmute yourself.
You have to hit the microphone on the bottom left-hand corner.
There he goes.
Okay, offer, second, whatever.
Okay. We did it.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Hi.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
And Mayor LaBrus is absent.
We're a skeleton crew tonight. I'm sorry. All right. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
Offer,
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia.
aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
All right. Anyone who wishes to speak, please raise your hand. And when you come online, please give your name and your address, and you will have 3 minutes to speak.
Okay, first up is Carolyn Davis.
Okay, Carolyn, let us know when you're here. Make sure you unmute yourself.
Okay,
There you
am
are.
I unmuted?
Yes, you are, dear.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
You need to-
I just have a statement I'd like to make. The mayor's not here tonight, but this is for the mayor and for the entire city council. We'll be bringing up again. On behalf of the work group of Hackensack and other concerned citizens, but I'm speaking for the work group tonight. Also with the support of the Fair Share Housing, we are asking that this city council, the mayor and this city council, introduce a 20% IZO for the city of Hackensack with residency preference for Hackensack residents. So that's what we are requesting, and we are hoping that our city council will be the first in Bergen County, being our the county seat, to introduce an IZO with 20% IZO with residency preference for Hackensack residents. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carolyn. We'll take it under consideration as always. Anyone else, Frank?
There are, Carolyn, your hand is, oh, no.
Still up? Oh,
Yep.
let me put it down. Okay.
There's no other hands raised.
Deb, do you have any to read, any emails?
No, nothing.
All right, can I have a motion to close to the public?
Offer,
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia.
aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
Okay, there's only 3 of us, so I guess, Leo, we'll start with you. Do you have any comments tonight for everybody?
Well, I wish a quick recovery to our mayor. Finally, we gonna reward that bridge between Hackensack and Teaneck. And we secure the parking lot and here for Johnson Park parking. We continue with a plan to build a sport facility in Johnson Park. And what did I say? Finally, we got the grant to finish the streetscape between Atlantic Street and Sussex. And that's it I have to say for today before I lose my voice.
Feel better for you too, Leo. Feel better for
Thank
you
you.
too.
Thank you.
All right, Jerry, what about you?
Yes. Well, I'm pleased to see that the Sty Park is being moved forward in the reconstruction, as well as Fashini Park, which was on the docket today to start moving forward as well. Leo and John, our mayor, I wish you both get yourselves back together especially John. I know what you're going through with the shoulder surgery. Also, I'd like to thank Aaron and Ryan for their update on the sewer improvement. Again, I go past those road openings and I get out of my vehicle and I stand there and look, and it's just a massive amount of work they're doing in our city. And I'm pleased that we're definitely getting that we're moving forward and fixing the problems that we have. And that concludes my report. God bless.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. I the same. John, please get better soon, because we were a skeleton crew tonight and you had to put up with me. So we miss you and we know you'll be back soon. And the council sends again thoughts and prayers to Stephanie and her family, and hoping all is well. I echo some of Leo's comments. Getting this finalization of what's called the TAP grant. This was federal money. This was money that we received. Oh, we were supposed to finalize it years ago, and that's the beginning of the streetscape work on Lower Main Street. So you may have noticed, you know, all the nice paving and actually the sidewalks and the pavers, not paving, throughout Main Street, but yet down on the lower end, that work hadn't been completed yet. And mainly because we had, you know, received federal grant money, but you can't start the work until they give you that final authorization. So we were in this, you know, catch-22 situation. So finally, that's all been cleared up. And now that last piece of streetscape work will be getting done. So that's great news for everyone. There was a great, I agree, Jerry, there's a wonderful Stye Park presentation given at the COW. Anyone who is, you know, interested in learning more about it, you know, these things are all, you know, on video and available. So, you know, take time to take a look at it. I think that park's going to be gorgeous. You know, they talked about a little bit about the next phase, including the Serenity Garden that neighbors there have asked for quite a while now. And I'm glad that we're going to be moving forward with that as well. I think, you know, it's a gorgeous park and it, you know, needed some updates. So I'm very happy to see that we're going to be moving in that direction as well. I always like to go over some of the highlights of the docket for folks. There was one redevelopment plan on here tonight. That was, if you're looking at Main Street and you're looking at that portion of Main Street between Clinton and Maple, pretty much the big person there right now is the old Bruce the Bed King, if you can remember it. That's what we're looking at there. It's just a redevelopment plan, the early stages, and they're looking to put about 140 units in there, residential. The zoning code updates that were on here, you know, this again is something that's been in the works, oh my goodness, for close to 2 years now. It was a massive project. And I want to thank everyone who participated, not those that wrote it and changed it and constantly reviewed it, but I mean, that went out to review by all of the department heads. There was tons of feedback. And we had to get to that point where we said, let's just put a stake in the ground and get a good baseline. But as all our documents, this will continue to evolve and change as laws change and priorities change. And we had some comments tonight, and we'll make sure that we get that worked in as well. In addition to that, there was an award for some sewer work in the Hudson Street area. Again, this is another one of our areas that does flood, and you're going to see trucks down there doing CCTVing. That means getting down and really examining what's going on there and looking for problems and doing a real heavy duty cleaning there. And that should also provide some relief there as well. In addition, during the committee of the whole, as usual, we get an engineering update on all the sewer work, in addition to everything that's happening with the Clay Street project, which is a lot. A lot of work has been accomplished, still more to go, but the work continues, and that's what's important. Also, I was happy to see that the work on Clinton Place started this week. We've had some issues there with folks that were complaining. The Voorhees pump station, we're still doing work there, but we had to get a temporary pump in there to resolve some of the issues, and that went in there as well. And then we also had an award to make more progress with Fashini Park. You know, even just to get some of this work done, you wouldn't believe, as the public, as we're all learning, as becoming, you know, people involved in the government here, how many hoops you have to jump through to make progress, and especially when you're riverfront. So there's tons like of DEP approvals we have to obtain and permitting, and that all involves design. But I know, you know, Jerry, nod your head yes, that we're moving forward with those 3 fields, that we want to get those done and ready. So, you know, we're going to see lots of positive change in our parks come spring and summer. And I think that's really important for everyone that enjoys them. And that pretty much rolls up the highlights of tonight. I want to thank everyone who participated, and we, as always, appreciate your comments, and see you again next time. Stay happy and healthy. Thanks, everyone. We have to close this meeting, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I need a motion to close this meeting.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, good night, everyone.
Good
Night.
night, all.
Night, stay safe. Bye-bye now.